Hey everyone, Jason Weckerle here. Today I'm going to be joined by my brother Jesse, and then later on in the day my wife is going to join us, and we're just going out trying different lakes, different spots, trying to catch some bass, pike, whatever wants to bite today. We might even end up at a river and fish for whatever bites there. Right now we have a cold front, which means it's 72 degrees. It's late spring, early summer transition. The bass are spawning or off the spawn. The bluegills are spawning right now. And we got a lot of fish pushed shallow, but we have a cold front that blew in today, and we have another one that's coming in tomorrow. So I don't know if it's going to impact the fishing or not, because yesterday was 87 degrees, today is 71, 72. But all we can do is get out there and try and hope for the best. We're going to throw a variety of lures, see what wants to bite. Let's get out there and catch some fish. Some people call these backlashes, but some of us call these pro fisherman errors. Whatever helps me sleep at night, right? Well, here's my brother Jesse. He just got here. It's been a long time, Jesse. What are you doing sitting next to my cat's ass? She loves just sitting inside. Show your face. There you are. She ripped a hole in here so that she could look out. Let's get out fishing. Your first cast, you just had like a 15-inch bass.
Yep.
That was cool. That's a good sign. Very dangerous spot. That's a good 20-foot drop if you fall. I'm just using this 2.5 foot diving lunker hunt crankbait in a bluegill pattern. My brother is using the same exact lure but in black and silver shiner pattern, and we're fishing it on an 18-pound test, not too kinky titanium leader. You can actually tie knots with this leader material. It doesn't bend or kink like steel leaders do. I'm also fishing 30-pound test braid on a medium heavy action Daiwa Saltus 7-foot, or actually 7.5-foot rod, sorry, 7/6 Shimano Trance 300. I love this setup. It's a good setup for bass, pike, a good small musky lure setup, like if you're using smaller musky baits. Oh, just had, see that? I don't know what that was. Oh, I just had something. I've had 3 bites now on the bluegill crankbait. I just switched over to a number 5 homemade spinner, black and chartreuse tail. I make my own spinners, so I made just whatever color combinations I think will work. Oh! Did you see that? I had one. Well, he lost a nice sized bass. We had a few bites, but the first spot we tried together was slow. The first spot I tried today was slow. I'm hoping we can scratch some fish out at some point today. We're gonna go try a river spot right now where about, I'd say 8 to 10 years ago, I caught a bullhead that drove its stinger straight through my finger and artery and caused a pretty horrific scene. So I hope we can catch some pike out of there and stay away from those bullheads. Let's get to the next spot.
Let's get it.
What?
Let's get it.
Let's get it?
Get it.
Let's try a spoon. The old school Johnson silver minnow. Ooh, that was a little pike. I just had one like this big. Could tell that was a northern. It was long and skinny. Now my wife is here with us and she's joining us for a couple hours. All right, we are at another spot now. I'm gonna try a split shot rig with a Zoom French fry worm. My wife's just throwing a little silver and white rooster tail spinner and a 2-inch black and white Rapala original lure. Jesse's almost losing my spinner over here. Thought he had Moby Dick and he had Mr. Rock snagged. Now I'm switching over to an 1/8 ounce brown green pumpkin jig head with a green pumpkin shaky worm. This is a Kevin Van Dam Strike Cane coffee scented shaky worm. Oop, just had one. I had 2 bites now. Right now I'm fishing the shaky worm, the split shot rig, and the wacky worm, all on 7-foot medium action rods and about 1,500 to 2,000 size reels, spooled with 10-pound Power Pro braid, tied to a 5 to 6 foot section of Cedar or Trilene 100% fluorocarbon. Those are the 2 companies I like using. But fluorocarbon leaders, 10 to 12 pound test. Sometimes I go down to 8 pound if I'm using a smaller bait. I might switch to a hair jig in a couple seconds here. Well, I just switched over to a 3/32 ounce hair jig that I tied. This is a marabou jig made out of marabou feathers with a little bit of purple bucktail in the center. But this bait's only about 2.5 to 3 inches long. This is a deadly smallmouth lure, especially when there's cold fronts. Almost any time, smallmouth love these. Up in Door County and Lake Superior, throwing these marabou jigs has been the hot thing on the Bassmaster Trail. But I caught fish last year on these inland lakes around southern Wisconsin. Anywhere there's smallmouth and even largemouth, anywhere there's smallmouth or largemouth, they like these marabou jigs. Sorry for all the wind and the noise, but let's give this a shot. You just slowly reel it, or you can twitch it on the bottom, but just a slow reel seems to work with this lure. Let's see if it works today, because I still need to catch a fish. First, I'm just going to try swimming it, just slowly reeling it, let it sink to the bottom. I guess this technique works very good too when the mayfly hatches happen, and it's about that time of the year. We should be seeing some mayflies. Oh, got one. Nice fish.
Aw.
That's alright. It was about 14 inches long. Well, I just lost that smallmouth on the black marabou jig. This is how my brother fishes. He catches all the fish. Right now we're fishing a really expansive rock bar that's in anywhere from inches of water down to about 5 feet. Smallmouth love rock bars, especially if you get boulders and fist-sized rock. Oh, my wife caught a walleye. That's a surprise.
For sure.
Nice fish.
Can't really lip them, but.
No, it's all right. Leave it to my wife to catch the first fish of the day. A walleye. Well, the day, it's almost, well, it's sunset now, but she said she had to literally pause the jerkbait for like a minute. She caught it on a suspending jerkbait. Strike King Kevin Van Dam in bluegill color. All right, we're trying our last spot before dark. Then I gotta get my wife home. And then my brother and I are gonna try for some nighttime walleyes and panfish. Well, I guess I have a light on my camera I never knew about. But fishing sucked today. Typical cold front, double cold front type fishing. My wife caught a walleye. I lost a smallmouth. Had a few bites that were probably bass or pike at the first spot. He lost a largemouth. But if we would have landed them, we would have had a decent amount of fish. But it's been very slow. It's been muggy. It's a cold front, but it's muggy out. But we just got hit by the second one. So I don't know if tonight's gonna be better. Me and Jesse are gonna get out and try for some panfish and walleyes. So we're gonna hit another spot. Now it's 11 o'clock at night and we're gonna put some time in and see if the walleyes or the panfish or something wants to bite. Hopefully tonight some of those fish moved in shallow and will still feed. Or maybe there'll be a moonrise or something that will set those fish off. You ready?
I'm ready.
He's ready. So what'd you catch there?
Little rock bass.
That's your second one now?
Yep.
Are these your boyfriends?
The dead ones.
Oh. Well, that's creepy. Oh.
Bye bye.
That's the way to do it. Let him smack himself in the head before he gets back in the water.
Turtle food.
Turtle food. Well, like one cast later, here's an even bigger rock bass. It's not bad.
No.
Very nice. Don't let that one hit himself in the head on the way out. Damn, dude. You are the rock bass slayer.
Got a monster.
Oh my god. Good job. You deflected him off your hand. That was a good... You have a good heart, Jesse.
Oh yes.
Well, we're switching spots now because Jesse had his fill of rock bass.
Yep.
But we're going back to the spot where my wife caught her walleye and I lost that smallmouth today. Finally, I caught a fish. It's starting to rain pretty good right now, so we're not sure how much more time we have, but there's some white bass and some walleyes swimming around right now, so we're gonna try to catch a few of those. Finally caught a nice walleye tonight. As slow as today's been, this fish is about 17 and a half, 18 inches long. Very nice fish. I'm gonna let them go because they're not legal at this size in this location, but finally it's a fish worth talking about, and it's not a rock bass. Well, I just caught this nice sized crappie. Me and my brother decided to try one last place, and he lost a nice crappie a second ago, and I just caught that one right away. If we start catching more of those, we might keep a few, but I think I might just catch and release them tonight. We're just catching our crappies on a 2-inch Mr. Twister, white, with a 32nd ounce jig head. I believe my brother is using a 16th ounce with a 2.5 inch white twister tail, but let's get some more crappies. Jesse the rock bass slayer, that's a big one.
Oh yeah.
Thought it was a crappie at first. Let's get more of those and some more crappies, hopefully
Right.
a walleye or something. And we're off. Just a second after you caught that rock bass, you caught a decent crappie.
Oh yeah.
Look at how thick that thing's back is. Thick fish for its length. It's not even that long. Looks like a female. Still got a little bit of eggs in her belly. There you go. Just caught another crappie. Pretty decent size one. Be a keeper if I was keeping them, but we're letting them go. My brother's caught about 10 more rock bass after the last ones you've seen. We're not gonna get them all on video, but I had a muskie or a pike come flying out from underneath the boat dock over here and try to grab my twister tail, and it scared the hell out of me. So that was interesting. There's my brother, biggest crappie in the world. Holy crap, world record. So I just caught this crappie at the same time as my brother caught this rock bass. Double header.
All right.
All right, all right, all right.
All right.
All right, what do you got here? Another crappie. That might be one of the bigger ones of the night. That's a decent sized fish.
Oh yeah.
Not one crappie tonight would have been a bad size to flay. Here's another crappie. This is probably like the 9th or 10th one tonight. We threw back a bunch of small rock bass. All these crappies are about the same size, about 8-9 inches. The biggest one was maybe pushing 10, but they're fun to catch, especially early, well, late at night, early in the morning. It's like 2 o'clock in the morning right now, but I might come back and catch some of these for a fish fry. That goes down as the smallest crappie I've ever caught. Oh my God. I don't even know what to say. I don't even know how he ate my bait. Oh, did you just get one now?
Yep.
They're getting smaller now. That means it's almost time to go. Another crappie. Yay! Look at that belly on it. Still has its eggs. And it's almost early summer. Well, we had a very interesting day of fishing. Hit by a double cold front. The daytime fishing sucked. Everywhere we went, the fishing was either slow or lousy. We might have lost some pike today at the first spot, but he definitely lost a largemouth bass on the first cast of the trip. He was using a silver 2.5 foot diving lunker hunt crankbait. I had a few bites on the bluegill pattern of the same lure, Today, the only thing I got a smallmouth bass to bite was a black hand-tied marabou jig. But the night fishing was a little bit better. We scratched out a lot of rock bass and crappies tonight. We didn't even get them all on film. He had like a 10 fish streak where it was one rock bass after the other. Then we got into the crappies, and you were using a 16th ounce jig and a 3-inch twister tail, white. I was using a 1/32 ounce jig, 2-inch Mr. Twister in white. Crappies seemed to like it slowly reeled or jigged. I mean, crappies and the rock bass didn't seem to mind anything tonight. It's 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning, so time for bed. Tonight, I'm gonna go crappie fishing. I'll probably pick up a few rock bass and bluegills along the way. I'm just trying to get enough fish for a fish fry for my wife and me, or two. I'm not trying to keep limits or anything like that, but I found some crappies and some rock bass last night with my brother while we went fishing everywhere during the day, and then at night finally caught fish because the daytime sucked. Well, come along with me and see what happens. Let's catch some fish, hopefully. Well, we are here and it's nice and quiet. I got my top water box all ready to rock and roll. Brought a jerkbait rod, suspending jerkbait. Got my jitterbug that's been chewed to pieces. But we're gonna start with a black and a white 2-inch twister tail and a 1/32 ounce jig head and fish for some panfish. We have a beautiful crescent moon, and it's either moonrise or moonset. I didn't check, but that's a good time to be fishing. First cast and first crappie of the night, caught on a white 2-inch Mr. Twister. Here's the second crappie of the night, about 4 casts, and probably about 4 or 5 casts into my night. This is about the size I would start keeping, because if anyone caught an 8 or 9-inch bluegill, they'd be keeping it, so I can get a fillet out of this. All I'm doing is throwing a 2-inch white Mr. Twister. I also have a black one rigged up. Some nights they want black, some nights they want white. 1/32 ounce jig head, but let's catch some more fish. There's just so many minnows in here right now, it's incredible. Schools of just thousands of minnows. Well, the bite's a little bit slower than it was last night, but white seems to be the color working. So I'm gonna give these Bobby Garland crappie baits, itty bitty slab hunter, a shot. The white twister tail caught me 3 crappies and 2 rock bass so far. It's moon set right now. I've been here for about 20 minutes, 5 fish. Not doing too bad, but last night it was one after another. But last night I wasn't seeing 2 million minnows swimming around, so maybe I got some competition. Hopefully that Bobby Garland bait saves the day. I'm gonna switch back and forth between the twister tail and the tiny swim bait, the Bobby Garland bait. Let's see what happens. First cast with the Bobby Garland itty bitty slab hunter, and I caught a little itty bitty slab. Well, tonight's kind of a slow night, so I've went through a handful of different plastics. It seems like the color white is working the best, but it seems like they want something worked really slow. So I tied on a 1/32 ounce bucktail jig in white. I tie all my own bucktail and marabou jigs, but it's got a paint jig head, just your basic pink and white, just pink and white hair, paint jig head, white hair. And I'm gonna see if that slower fall rate gets the fish biting more, because if you control the drop of your jig, sometimes crappies want it falling really slow. And hair is a lot more, like bucktail is a lot more buoyant than plastic, so I'm gonna see if they like this hair jig. Just got the second keeper crappie of the night on the white hair jig I just showed you guys. Hopefully this is the ticket. Just one cast after I caught that last crappie, a walleye decided to grab the hair jig. Not a keeper, but a cool fish, because I haven't caught many of them out of this lake. I'm figuring this is probably one they stocked in here, but it had a taste for hair jigs. What are you doing? Greeting Dad, coming home from a fishing trip, huh? Look at you, silly cat. This is Orion. How you doing? Crazy, just absolutely crazy. I just got home from fishing tonight. My cat greeted me at the door. I could tell he missed me, as you guys could see. The fishing really slowed down. The wind picked up and it got really cold out suddenly, so I think a cold front might have blown in. I only caught 2 more bluegills that were really small, and a tiny crappie and a couple tiny rock bass after you guys saw me catch that walleye. But the fishing was a lot slower tonight than it was last night when my brother and I got out. So it really sucks that I didn't get as many crappies, but that's alright. I still hope you guys enjoyed this video and learned a thing or two, or at least enjoyed the video all together, because I was expecting a lot more fish and it just didn't happen that way. If you guys like these videos, subscribe to my page, hit the like button, share my videos with whoever you care to share them with. Everything helps, the likes, the subscriptions, the comments. Good luck fishing. Take care. Maybe see you guys on the water.